Hey guys, what's up? It's another Monday, and you know what that means? Another easy recipe is coming at that ass right now. What are we making this week? We are doing an easy turkey meatball recipe using minimal ingredients. This way you can whip up some meatball subs during the week, or you can throw it in your pasta. However you want to eat them is up to you. The choice is yours, productive family. We are going to break out our trusty crock pot and cook them in here. My Italian mother probably wouldn't agree. That's not the way that she raised me, to cook meatballs in a crock pot. But we are all about saving time and convenience, so you can kind of just set it, forget it, head to the gym, run to happy hour, go to work, come home, and have a delicious meal prepped, ready to go for you. Okay, so here we are shooting with that beautiful side profile that everybody loves to be recorded on. Luckily for me, this is the profession that I chose, so let's just get right into what we're supposed to do, ugliness or not. So we're actually going to be using two types of meat today. We are using a ground turkey, and we are also using some turkey sausage. Now the key to using turkey sausage is you obviously want to cut them out of the casing, so when you drop it in with the turkey, the other turkey meat, it mixes easily. So it's as simple as just peeling off that casing, and dropping them in. Now this is obviously going to get repetitive, so we're going to skip past this part just to save you time. Actually, to save you from looking at this bald, ugly side profile deal that I have going on. Fuck. I curse a lot. Okay, so now that all the meat is in the bowl, your next step is going to be to put in all your spices, your garlic powder, your salt, your pepper, your parsley, your breadcrumbs, and your Romano cheese. The only thing that I'm measuring is the breadcrumbs and the Romano cheese. I'm just not a measuring type of guy. We will actually have the full list of ingredients in our blog post, so if you are that type of person where you need to do things down to a T, we're not baking, I don't do it that way, feel free to do so. Okay, check it. Look, the real reason that I don't measure this stuff is I just don't care. I'm just showing you guys how I do it at home. I kind of do it to my taste, and it's the way that I've just done it throughout the years. I'm not a professionally trained chef. I just want to show you guys that you can make an easy meal at home without having to spend that money ordering takeout. So the next step, we're going to put the breadcrumbs in, drop it over, take your Parmesan cheese, boom. Now you got your 3 eggs that you want to crack. The beauty of this recipe is this should make you about 38 to 40 meatballs. And what's cool about that is you can freeze them, and whenever you want during the week, this week, next month, you just pop those bad boys out, throw them in the oven, and make a quick, easy, delicious meatball sub, or however you want to consume those meatballs, and be good to go. Time is money, right? All right, worst part of this is mixing this by hand because it tends to be super cold, and it will give you that brain freeze like you're eating a shitload of ice cream too fast. Now let's get into it. Woo, that shit's cold. Actually, it's not really that bad. I'm just trying to add effect to the camera. I just didn't want to have like some dead air there where I wasn't speaking to you guys. You just want to mix it up really well, get all the ingredients combined. You're going to want to wash your hands so you can pull out a pan and roll out your 38, I don't know why I'm saying 38, your 40-something meatballs. That's better. Higher numbers better. All right, and the breadcrumbs are obviously going to give it a bit more texture so they just don't fall apart on you. And the two meats will actually give it a really good flavor. Instead of just sticking with some basic turkey, you also get some of that sausage seasoning that is in those Italian style turkey sausages that we cut up in here. I am more animal friendly, even though it doesn't seem like I am today. Growing up, they obviously used to be veal, pork, and beef meatballs in my 100% Italian home, even though I'm only 50% Italian. So I don't do it like that anymore. That is... Come on, dog. Focus, bitch. Yo. Okay, so the key is to take about a palm full of this stuff, roll it up into a ball. Obviously, it's a meatball. Okay, welcome back, productive family. So now that we got these bad boys rolled out and placed on this pan, We're gonna stick them in the oven. That's preheated to 450. We're almost there. We're at 410. I should have preheated that shit before I started doing this, so I could have just stuck it right in. Anyway, we used to do this in a pan filled with oil to get that nice brown crust on the outside the way that I like them, but we are about saving time, and rather than dropping a bunch in at a time and spending an extra 45 minutes in the kitchen, we're just going to throw it right on this sheet pan, stick them in a preheated oven, 3 minutes on one side, take them out, 3 minutes on the other side, get them a little bit brown on the outside before you put them in that crock pot. Alright, so it's been about 3 minutes on each side. Now it's time to take the meatballs out of the oven. And what we're gonna do, boom, here they are. You can see that they browned a little bit. We're gonna put them off to the side. And what we're gonna do in the meantime is we are going to make some quick marinara sauce. This way we can put it into the crock pot with the meatballs so you have your meal completely prepped for when you get home. All right, so first things first, like I said earlier, they used to call me No Measure Mark, and the reason for that is because I obviously don't like to measure. Nobody really called me that. I just made that up right now. So I'm going to take this olive oil, I'm going to coat the bottom of our pot lightly, put it off to the side. Now you want to use some fresh garlic. You can either mince it. Again, I'm not doing that. I just don't want to waste the time. So you're going to take a garlic clove with the actual, I don't know if you can see it because this camera sucks, with the skin on it. And just smash it. That makes it easy for you to peel the skin right off. You're just going to take your clove, oh, you don't want it to go there, and you're going to throw it right into the pot. So as I said, you're going to use about 3 to 4 cloves depending on how much you like garlic versus how much you hate it. Or if you're having your dime piece come over and you don't want stinky garlic breath or stinky fingers. Sticky might be something else. So I'm going with 4. You just smash those cloves, peel the skin, drop it right in, boom. I'm gonna need to fix my mistake here where I actually dropped a piece of garlic in between my burner and the stove there. All right, so you are actually going to turn the heat up to medium. Grab the wooden spoon that if you grew up in an Italian household you got hit with back in the day. Sort of still teetering if I should call up child services on my mother. Just kidding, Mom, I do love you. Okay, so with this smashed garlic, you can, once it turns a golden color, you can remove it if you don't want to have the garlic in your sauce, or you can just chuck it, dispose of it. I'm going to be leaving it in here because I really don't care. Alright, so my garlic is a nice golden color. I am taking 2 cans because I want to have some left over. We are making a bunch of meatballs. We can freeze this as well, and we can have a ready-made meal to go like this. Alright, so you're just going to take one of these big cans of, right. You're going to lower the heat a little bit, and you're going to drop in a can of crushed tomatoes and some tomato puree. This way you get the job done quick there. If it is too thick, you can add maybe a cup of chicken broth or some water to thin it out a bit, again depending on how you like your sauce to taste. So now that you got your tomato sauce in there, you want to take some salt, pepper, get it into the pot. If you have some fresh basil, you want to chop it up, maybe about 6 leaves or so. If not, go into your trusty Lazy Susan that's down here and see if you've got some dried basil that you can use. I am super low on this stuff here, but it'll do the job. We're just gonna open this bad boy up and dump the whole thing in there. Boom. Now, we're just gonna let this cook for about 5-10 minutes or so because we're going to use the contents in the crock pot with the meatballs. This way the meatballs don't get too dried out sitting in the crock pot, and they will be combined into a beautiful, tasty Italian concoction. Now you can also spice this up if you want to add some crushed red pepper flakes to the oil and the garlic when you have that in initially. Alright guys, so we are almost there. Our meatballs are done, our marinara sauce is ready to go as well. Our crock pot is on. Let's turn this bad boy up for about 3 hours. We're gonna cook it low on 3 hours. Boom, you heard it, it's ready too. We are going to take these meatballs, and the first step is to get a base layer of meatballs within the crock pot itself. Forget it. Instead of using this, just use your hands and wash them after. 1, 2, 3. Much faster, right? Look at this. A lot quicker. Okay, so now that we got a nice layer of our initial round of meatballs in here, sorry for making you look at the back of my head. All right, so take your marinara sauce that you just made. You just did a brief cook on it because it's going to cook longer in the actual crock pot with the meatballs itself. I'm going to just coat these bad boys in here, get them all over your balls. I guess you can coat your balls with your marinara sauce. And then once you do that, you can take your remaining meatballs, top them off in there. Maybe 1 or 2 more scoops of the marinara sauce. And then what you're going to do is lid that baby, let it do its thing for the next 3 hours. Once this lid is on, you're free to do whatever you like. The crock pot is gonna do the work for you. You're gonna come back to a tasty meal in 3 hours. So within that 3 hours, if you wanna creep on that girl that you got a crush on Instagram, by all means, go do so. If you wanna go to the bar, grab a beer at happy hour and try to meet a girl in real life, feel free to do so as well. If you think you've got the skills to do it, or if you've got that work presentation that you need to hammer out so you have some free time later on tonight to watch Monday Night Football, go do that. Whatever it may be that you choose to do, just do it productively.